Oh. It's the same night. Okay. March 22nd, 9:14 p.m. Gatewater Hotel. We're still in Karita's room, so it's just a save point in the middle of the investigation section. I think that's the first time we've gotten that. It's past 9 p.m. already, isn't it? I wonder if Mr. Edgeworth has already found Mystic Maya. These things take time. I'd say probably not. The police are professionals, Pearls. They'll find her, so don't worry. And if we can win a not guilty verdict tomorrow, then everything will be okay. You're right. So the real person who killed Mr. Karita was that assassin, Mr. Shelley to kill her, right? And this card Miss Andrews found at the crime scene seems to be proof of that. But if that's the case, then a new question comes to mind. Who was the one that hired the killer to begin with? Who was his client? You mean who asked for the murder? That person didn't want to dirty their own hands in blood, but whoever this client is, they're still a killer. Who could have hired the assassin? You think it was Miss Andrews? I wonder. But if she was the client, then why go through the effort to stab the knife into the corpse herself? But if Miss Andrews wasn't the client, then no, it can't be Matt Ungard himself. If Mr. Ungard really did hire the assassin, then he's not innocent at all. Far from it. He'd be guilty of the crime. But it can't be Mr. Ungard, right? I mean, when we first talked with him... Mr. Ungard, I'd like to ask you one more question. Did you kill Mr. Juan Karita? All right. Just so we're clear, dude. I didn't kill anyone. And that includes Juan Karita, okay? No Cyclops came up, but we asked him specifically if he killed someone and not if he hired someone to kill someone. Did you remember something, Mr. Nick? Yeah, something Miss Andrews said at the trial today. She said something interesting. So what's this interesting thing? Oh, that's right. You didn't hear it, did you, Pearls? Juan had to bet everything on the jam into this year, and if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway. Looked like somehow Juan had his hands in a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. Mr. Ungard's secret? What is the secret? I don't know yet, but for now, let's think about it this way. Mr. Karita was going to reveal this secret, and that means Mr. Ungard had plenty of motive to have Mr. Karita sign. Which means we have to meet with Mr. Ungard. There's no way around it now. I didn't mean to talk to her again. March 22nd, Gatewater Hotel hallway. Wow, it really is getting late, isn't it, Mr. Nick? It's past 9 already, but we still have some things to prepare for tomorrow's trial. Still the matter of the secret Mr. Karita held about Mr. Ungard and Miss Andrews' real intentions. Those are two things I must know tonight. But aren't visiting hours over at the detention center? I'm sure we'll think of something, Pearls. Don't you worry. Keep going, man. Hey, wait!
What is it, whippersnapper? All I know is nothing that has anything to do with you is ever good. Like just now, I was handed this strange device for who knows what reason, and I was told to use it to search the whole hotel.
That's the bug sweeper, isn't it? The one Gumshoe made.
I don't know, and frankly, I don't care. But the request came from Edgypoo, so...
Edgeworth?
And he said...
If you feel angry, direct your anger at that unsophisticated lawyer.
So I'm going to feel free to direct all my anger towards you.
Ugh. Gee, thanks a bundle. Edgeworth, what a pal you are.
This is absolutely top secret, so you had better keep it to yourself. I heard they found a spy camera hidden in one of the presents.
Oh, very interesting.
It sure was. You know, it was sure to catch poor Juan in the middle of a scandalous meeting.
Scandalous? What's that?
It means, well, you know, the gossip that's been going around about my dear Juan.
Oh, you mean that thing about Miss Andrews. But I'm sure she must have had some reason for getting close to Mr. Kurita.
I'll let you in on another secret, youngin'. I know who planted that spy camera. It was that obnoxious, puffy-haired photographer girl. The nerve of some people. Spying on people by herself. As if I wouldn't want to see it for myself, too.
Wow. The alien actually admitted her true intentions for a change.
I don't know what you're thinking exactly, but I know it's not good. So you want to know about Juan and Adrian, the manager? Actually, as I hear it, they were something of a refreshing pair, those two.
Oh?
I tell you, Juan really welcomed that manager with open arms, I hear.
That manager? Who are you talking about?
You don't know? That manager woman Juan had. It's a shame she killed herself, though.
Oh, you're talking about Miss Celeste Impacts. Miss Andrews' mentor, right?
Yes, that's the one. That Celeste girl. She was supposed to get married, you know.
Married? You mean to Mr. Kurita?
Ah, really? You young kids today don't know anything, do you? That girl Celeste killed herself 3 days after their marriage announcement.
3 days after their marriage announcement? What in the... Why would Miss Impacts want to kill herself? She was gonna get married.
Well, that's because she was thrown away, you see, by Juan.
What? But they were going to get married, right? They promised each other, right?
They held a grand announcement session, but 3 days later, Juan suddenly canceled their marriage.
Is that true?
It was in the weekly magazines.
But why? Why did he do that?
That was not in the magazines, unfortunately.
I see. That
night after Juan called off the wedding, that manager, Celeste, well, she killed herself.
How terrible. I wonder what happened between those two. Nothing with the card. I don't know if I have anything I can do with presenting stuff. She really doesn't like you, Mr. Nick. I know. Okay, let's see if we can go to the detention center and get a meeting. Hotel lobby. On that night, there must have been at least a few hundred people here. Guess the police are done with their questioning and investigating. It looks like things here in the lobby have finally calmed down. Whew. Where's the detention center? Do I have to go there from the law office? Wright & Co. law offices. It doesn't look like Mr. Scruffy Detective is here. Well, he's out there with that camera asking around all the electronic stores. Then I'll make some salad for him for dinner. Looks like Pearls really appreciates what Gumshoe is doing for us. Mr. Nick, where's the lettuce? I don't think I've ever bought lettuce before. Oh, I guess I'll have to give up on making a salad then. Guess the lack of lettuce is kind of a problem. Can I have any conversation with her that's different at this point? No. Detention center visiting room. Visiting hours ended a few hours ago. Looks like we're not going to get a chance to talk with Mr. On Guard tonight. But isn't what we have to ask very important? Yeah, but I don't think that matters to the guard. Shit. Can I examine the guard? Guard boy. Guard boy. Visiting hours ended hours ago. So, what's he watching over now? Maybe he did something bad and he's standing there as punishment. Somehow I don't think that's it. Okay, well, I guess let's see if maybe the criminal affairs department will have something we can do here? It feels sort of tense in here, doesn't it, Mr. Nick? Yeah, it does. I wonder if something happened.
You're Mr. Ungard's lawyer, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, we finally found just the person we've been looking for. A real decisive witness.
A decisive witness? You mean for Mr. Ungard's case?
We're taking the witness's statement right now. Gotta hand it to Mr. Edgeworth.
What's Edgeworth up to now? Who is this witness?
I think you know this person quite well, Mr. Lawyer.
Mr. Nick? Between the kidnappers and now this, I can't see any way to win here.
Oh yeah, Mr. Edgeworth wanted me to tell you something.
Did?
Even though visiting hours are long over at the detention center, he wanted me to grant you special permission, so there you go.
Huh?
I've already called them so they know. Go on, go talk to your heart's content.
Thank you very much. This is such good news, Mr. Nick. Go talk to your heart's content? It sounds like the police are pretty sure they have tomorrow's trial in the bag. All right, Mr. Ungard. I'm sure they must have transferred Miss Andrews here by now. So that means that both Mr. Ungard and Miss Andrews are in the detention center. Now then, whose story do I want to hear? I want to talk to Ungard first. Dude, it's Mr. Wright. Yo, Dark Muffin, welcome, man. Sorry, I'm not chatting too much with you guys in the chat. I'm seeing the things you guys are writing. I'm just trying to keep the story flowing. But Stink Tier, hope you're having a great day, man. Welcome to the stream. And Dork Muffin as well. Tom Nookster, listen, lettuce is for nerds. I think I've only ever bought lettuce 2 times in my life. In my life. My actual, like, not Phoenix Wright. But anyway, let's keep the investigation going, guys. Dude, it's Mr. Wright. I hope you can get me off the hook tomorrow. I'm counting on you. I hope so too. Mr. Edgeworth just dropped a bombshell on me and said that Juan Corrida was killed by an assassin and that the assassin's client is this man, Matt Ungard. What's wrong? Mr. Ungard, there's something I must know with 100% certainty. Huh. You seem kind of different. You're totally not like your... Thanks for the bits, Audrey. Why can't we just go straight to nap time? So story time doesn't hold a candle to Duck Duck Goose. What? I don't think I get it. You seem kind of different. You're totally like not your usual lawyer self, dude. About the press conference. You mean the one where Juan was gonna dress up as the Nickel Samurai? Yeah, I heard a little bit more about it from Miss Andrews. It looked like somehow Juan had his hands in a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. Could you please fill me in on what this secret is? Please? Bye. Wow. Mr. Nick, don't tell me. A psych lock. You said a secret, right? But you don't have any idea what it is, do you, dude? Did you know about Mr. Corrida and Miss Andrews' relationship? Well, it's all over the tabloids, dude. But I don't know any of the details, if that's what you mean. Look, how many times do I have to tell you? I don't care what Juan did with his life. Miss Andrews, she had a purpose in mind when she started seeing Mr. Corrida. Her mentor was Mr. Corrida's manager, and Miss Andrews was going to get Miss Celeste Impact's suicide note from him. Celeste? Does that jog any memories? Dude, I suddenly just got totally hungry. You up for a pizza? My treat. Mr. Nick, what is a pizza? Is it a kind of pea? Like green peas? Let's go eat one later, okay? Ugh. I got cut off by the pizza dude at the shop. It's too bad. Well, how about we get our minds off this topic and talk about something else, okay? Mr. Ungard, are you connected to Miss Impact's suicide in some way? It sounds like it. Tell me about your butler. About this person. He's your butler, Mr. Doe, right? We met him at your mansion. Oh, yeah, that's right. He's a pretty cool dude who can do lots of things. Takes real good care of me. A pretty good dude who can do lots of things. Sounds suspicious. Mr. On guard? Dude, I know I asked you to, like, be my lawyer and all, but I don't think I have to tell you anything and everything. What do you mean by that? It just means I don't have to tell you anything and everything, dude. I don't get it. Why would she want to frame me? I mean, like, I've never done anything to her, dude. Mr. On guard sounds pretty sincere, and he seems trustworthy. But I have to find out what Miss Andrews' real intentions are. This person looks like a member of my fan club. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna ask the fan club president, okay? Dude, you know what? Forget I asked. Is there any other evidence I want to present right now? I want to see if he reacts to this card at all. I'm kind of scared to show him this card. What's wrong, dude? Oh, so about this picture card. Yo, thanks for the bit, Exportus. Have you ever seen this before? Nope, never saw it before in my life, dude. I don't think he's lying, or is he? Then again, it looked like he gasped just now. Maybe I'm seeing things. He definitely reacted to the card a little bit. That Adrian. I never thought she'd go this far to frame me for the crime. I mean, what does she have against me? Dude, I don't get it. That's something I'd like to know, too. Do you have any ideas at all? Even the slightest clue? Huh? What? Me? Don't be silly, Mr. Lawyer. How am I, like, supposed to know something like that? It's crazy, dude. Okay, I wanna... Oh, what's going on? Oh, Mr. Wright. Please, you have to help me. Uh-oh. Mr. Powers? What happened? Why are you here?
I got roped into this somehow.
What?
And now I'm going to testify tomorrow at the trial.
So the decisive witness is Mr. Powers?
Well, I was talking with a detective until a little while ago, and I was on my way home when all of a sudden, you there, you're under arrest. And I was brought back here.
Oh.
They said my face and whole self in general looked suspicious or something.
Well, I guess I can see how they thought that you looked suspicious.
I'm just a normal guy on an exercise show for kids. Is that a crime?
I wasn't expecting him to be here, man. So, about this testimony you're giving, what are you going to talk about?
I really don't know yet, but it sounds like I saw something pretty important from what they tell me.
You saw something important? What was it?
Well, the detective told me not to talk about it. You can't tell anyone, and especially not that lawyer, he said.
Who do you think is that lawyer the detective was talking about? Well, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it was me.
Yeah.
Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya and myself are your only two allies in this world, but it's alright. I don't really have a lot of friends, do I?
This is going to do a lot of damage to Matt, you know? Because he's got that refreshing like a spring breeze image going.
But what is he really like?
Well, let's see. Matt's always been kind of a player with women. He would never really turn a pretty face away, if you know what I mean. He'd always say, it's just a game to justify himself.
What? How horrible! That's unforgivable!
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to offend you, but you know, he said once that there's only one person in the world who won't swoon over me.
One person who won't swoon over him?
His manager. You know, Miss Adrian Andrews.
Why is Mr. Powers suddenly looking kind of energetic?
You see, I'm actually a sucker for gossip. I mean, celebrities in their world have this dazzling sort of image, right?
A dazzling sort of image, but aren't you part of that dazzle, Mr. Powers?
No, I'm more of a hairy, sweaty, smelly, brutish kind of guy, you see. But it's okay, really. I get to hear plenty of gossip about a lot of the other stars around me as things happen.
Well, that's true.
Oh, hey! So did you hear about this one yet? About Miss Andrews' mentor and her suicide?
You mean Miss Impacts? We heard something about how her wedding was canceled.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I thought about it a little the other day, about that mysterious death. Hey, Mr. Wright, why don't you ask me about that? Go on, go ahead!
He's so charged up, his skin is practically glowing with electricity.
Hey, so have you heard this? Celeste left a suicide note. And they say that Juan went and hid it. We heard about that in court today.
But there wasn't any actual proof that she had left a note.
Well, this is what I think. I think that something bad was written on the note. Something bad for Juan, that is.
Something bad for Mr. Kurita? Why do you figure so?
Well, before she died, Celeste talked with a few of her friends. And she said, "It looks like I may have been caught by an insidious man."
An insidious man? Did she mean Mr. Kurita by that?
Well, there's no one else that fits the bill, right? And that would be reason enough for him to hide her suicide note.
I see. Well, that's some good info. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Ungard and Miss Andrews, they're both at the detention center right now. There's still a lot of things I don't understand or know about. Sure. I had to get the two of them to tell me everything. Hold on. What does insidious mean? Proceeding in a gradual, subtle way, but with harmful effects. Okay. And now I know what insidious means. We learned something today, chat. All right. Now, theory for myself here. Theory for myself. Now that we know Matt Ungard was a player, now that we know that Matt Ungard was a big player, and he had a picture of Celeste in his house, and Phoenix doesn't know this, but we know this because Maya saw it. Essentially, I think what we can piece together at this point is that the dirt that Juan Kurita had on Matt Ungard is that Matt Ungard slept with Juan Kurita's manager slash fiance, which I think could be the reason he canceled the wedding and the reason that the guilt was so strong for her that she killed herself. That's my running theory right now. We're gonna have to see if we can, back that up with any evidence, but that's my current theory. Let's go see if we can talk to Miss Andrews at the detention center. All right, Adrian Andrews. Oh, it's you. I'm sorry to be visiting at such a late hour, but there are a few questions I absolutely have to ask you tonight. Me? I thought your client was Matt. I'm sure Miss Andrews knows something. She can't be clueless about this secret Mr. Kurita had on Mr. Ungard. I'd like to ask you about Matt Ungard, if you don't mind. Mr. Wright, you still don't know, do you? The real him, I mean. You seem to bear a lot of resentment towards Mr. Ungard. If that's the case, then why did you become his manager? And why would you become intimate with his rival? That has nothing to do with this case. Nothing. About Miss Celeste Impacts. I finally put her death behind me, and now, thanks to you, it's all come back to the surface. Listen, I'm sorry. Yes, I was shocked by her suicide. And it's true that when I heard the rumor that Juan was the one who had hidden her suicide note, I began to draw close to him. I wanted to get her suicide note back. To burn it. You wanted to burn it, but why? Didn't want it to spread like just another piece of gossip. But I never held any murderous intent towards Juan. I would never do something so stupid. A suicide note. Wonder what it said. Why did you try to frame Mr. Ungard? That's simple, because he's the killer. That's why. Isn't it the duty of every good citizen to inform the police? But there had to be another way. The police are excellent at doing their job, so they'd figure it out, right? Yes, they're so good that they couldn't figure out the real truth behind Celeste's death. Miss Andrews. Well, I know you're not the type of person to do something without a reason, so please, tell me why you did what you did. Revenge. Huh? Did you say something just now? Just one lock. A psych lock, huh? Don't you understand yet? You're not my lawyer. To be honest, you're more like my enemy. But I'm sure I just heard Miss Andrews say revenge. Let's see if we have any information that we can break this psych lock with. I frame him. Can you please tell me why you framed Mr. Ungard for the murder? I've already told you countless times. It's because I thought Matt was the killer. That's not it. I know you have a personal reason to dislike Matt Ungard. Miss Andrews, you may think I didn't hear it, but I know you said something earlier. You said revenge. So you're saying I was taking my revenge out on Matt, and that's why? What an absurd idea. I don't have anything I want to take revenge for. Miss Andrews, a woman who lives by being dependent on another person. There is something or someone in her past that would make her want to take revenge. It's only my theory right now that Matt had an affair with Celeste in PAX, but we don't have any proof. I want to do a little bit more investigating before I haphazardly present evidence like that. I want to go back to the Criminal Affairs Department and see if I can talk in more depth to Will Powers, because I didn't present anything to him. Whoa, stuff happening. Okay. Mr. Nick, your phone.
Hey, that's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it?
I don't like the sound of this ringtone right now. It sounds kind of ominous.
Yeah, I know.
Hello? We're in trouble now, pal. I'll be back at the office real soon. Something really unexpected just happened. Mr. Edgeworth, Edgeworth? Anyway, hurry up and get back to the office, pal. I don't know what's going on anymore. It's no good. The end. Hello? He got cut off. What's going on, Mr. Nick? Gumshoe said we need to go back to the office right away. And we should... I'm scared to go back. What are you talking about, Mr. Nick? Pull yourself together. Maybe it'll be good news. Somehow I doubt that, Will. I guess I'm going back to the office. Hey, pal. Mr. Edgeworth's already back. Well, what happened? We got him! We know who bought the spy camera. Huh? This quickly? And this bear's what gave them away, pal. The bear? I figured it out, pal. I figured out that we should have been looking into the bear instead of the camera. Wasn't that what Mr. Edgeworth figured out? Shh, Pearls. Go on. There's only one person who bought one of those bears who's related to this crime. Who is it? Who would be so rude as to spy on another person in their room? Matt Ungard. Matt Ungard, your client. That's who, pal. Here I thought things couldn't get any worse. Are you sure you heard right? The person who bought this bear was... I heard it from the department store clerk, pal. This is the credit card receipt for the purchase. It's for $3,800, pal. That's the exact match to the price of that stuffed bear. A receipt? That's all you have? Nah, it's not just a receipt, pal. The store clerk said so himself. He told me, I'm sure I sold that bear to Mr. Ungard. I mean, the clerk even got Mr. Ungard's autograph out of it, pal, so I'm sure the person that bought the stuffed bear was Mr. Ungard himself. My sight is failing. This can't be. There's no way I can win this case at this point, dude. So what about the spy camera we found? Well, that was a dead end, pal. I mean, you can get this kind of thing from anywheres, but for now, I guess I can give this back to you to file away as evidence. The spy camera, transmitter, and stuffed bear refiled into the court record. I know you don't want to give up, pal. I didn't think it was possible. The person who put the spy camera in Juan Carita's room was Matt Ungard. Why would Mr. Ungard do something like this? I bet it was to catch Miss Andrews and Miss Carita in one of their rendezvous. I bet is not good enough for me. I have to know what the absolute truth behind this camera is. You going to see him, Mr. Ungard, I mean? Yeah, I am. I'm scared, Mr. Nick. I wonder what we'll find out next. I'm scared myself, but I have to put on a good face for Pearls. Matt Ungard, what in the world have you done? A receipt for $3,800. Proof Ungard bought a stuffed bear identical to the one in evidence. Changes the footage taken by the spy camera into radio waves and transmits the data. The spy camera was found in the right eye, found in the victim's room, and set to record the victim's room from 8 p.m. for 1 hour was running at the time of the murder. Oh, man. You know anything about the John Doe? Come on, man. Come on. Alright, nothing. Yo, what up, Whitney? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a great day, girl. Solid. Doesn't mean Matt bought it for murder, though. It doesn't implicit him in the murder, but it doesn't look good for him either, Moldy. The only way we're going to find out more information is if we go talk to Matt. You're working real late, you know. It's already past 10 p.m., dude. I think it's time you told me the truth. Relax. Don't you know that ignorance is bliss? But if you really want to know, let's talk. This is a very important matter. Please, you must tell me. What is this secret? I'm gonna consult my lawyer, okay? Hello? This is Phoenix Wright. Oh, hey, Mr. Lawyer, dude. Sorry, but, you know, dude, you totally don't have any idea, and I really didn't care about what Juan was up to, okay? Alright, we'll definitely be able to break his psych lock with the bear and the credit card and all that stuff. Let's get started at trying to break his psych lock. Matt's secret. Do. Now let's hear what this secret of yours is. What if Mr. Kurita had been successful in his plan? What would he have disclosed? I told you before, dude. I don't know. I don't know anything about Juan, okay? Look, Mr. Wright, I can keep on saying it until I'm blue in the face, but I totally didn't pay Juan any attention the whole time that night. I mean, come on. I was in the middle of a nap. Don't lie to me. Huh? I know you paid close attention to Mr. Kurita, especially on that night. The spy camera or the transmitter or the bear or the credit card receipt. Well, the credit card receipt just says he bought a bear. I'm not going to use that. The spy camera was found set in its right eye, found in the victim's room. That seems pretty good, too, but I think the spy camera is the strongest piece we have here. Someone used this camera to secretly film Mr. Kurita's room the night of the murder. Secretly film? What? And then sent the images the camera took with this transmitter. Wow, but dude, where's that camera you're talking about hidden? Well, it's in the bear. The spy camera was hidden in this bear's eyes. A bear that was supposed to be a present from a fan. I guess Juan had a few of those kind of fans too, huh, dude? Actually, I wouldn't say this bear was a present from a fan. Huh? You sure, dude? Who else could it be from? The person who gave this bear to Mr. Kurita was you! Mr. Ungard, don't you know this bear from somewhere? I don't think I've ever met Mr. Bear before, dude. Oh, but he says he knows you. How could you forget such a great friend? What else did the bear tell you? He says that the one who put the camera in his eye was you, Mr. Ungard. If I didn't know how you work in court, I'd think I was in some serious trouble. Come on! This is all a joke, right, dude? You're just pulling my leg. Looks like you're not ready to give up your secret just yet. Well, do you have any proof you want to show to me first? Here's proof that it was you who put the camera inside the bear. Well, I mean, I have proof that he bought the bear. I don't have proof that he put it in there, but this is the best I can do. I have here one credit card receipt, Mr. Unguard. It's from when you bought that stuffed bear. Dude, all you can tell from this is that I spent $3,800. I go to that department store all the time, okay? This $3,800. It could be the toothbrush I bought that one time. A $3,800 toothbrush. It's ivory, and it's got elephant hair for bristles. Ew, elephant hair? Is that what rich people use nowadays? Anyway. The store clerk remembers you and your purchase. After all, you even gave him an autograph. Did you not? Dude, should have said that earlier. So can I ask you one thing? Yeah? You're my lawyer, right, dude? So if you are, then why are you looking into stuff like that? Because if I don't know the truth, I can't help you. Sounds more like stupid lawyer talk to me. Hey, let's stop talking about this, okay? No, not yet. I haven't asked why you set the camera up yet. And what your secret is, of course. It would be strictly confidential. So, what are you gonna do now? I'm going to find out what I want to know, because I must. The reason you hid the camera in Mr. Kurita's room and filmed it in secret... The reason he put the camera in Mr. Kurita's room and filmed it in secret... Mr. Kurita was planning on... What's it called? Throwing the press conference. Yeah, this magazine clipping seems like a good piece here. Because of course he's going to be suspicious about his manager having secret meetings with his rival. Yeah, it's this for sure. Adrian Andrews? There's a rumor going around that Miss Andrews and Mr. Kurita were having secret meetings. You were keeping tabs on Mr. Kurita? You were going to reveal this as a fact and turn it into a scandal. Isn't that right? Dude, he's such a moron. Huh? Oh man, Mr. Lawyer, dude. That kind of scandal? That's the good stuff. That's what we in the industry call juicy. Good stuff? Look, we can get publicity without spending a penny with this kind of stuff. I mean, if people stopped paying attention to us, then it'd be the end, dude. Too bad that it wasn't your intention. What are you talking about? I wish your reason for spying was something so innocent, but it wasn't. You didn't spy on Mr. Kurita because of Miss Andrews. There's only one reason I can think of for you to do such a thing. The real reason you set that camera up in Mr. Kurita's room was... What? The real reason you set up the camera in Mr. Kurita's room was... Well, it was set to start at exactly 8. And... the spy camera was in his... Okay, spy camera in the thing, transmitted to Matt Unguard's house. We know that. So, obviously, it was set to record... Not to find the scandal, but to find out about... To record the murder? Why would they want to record the murder? Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. I gotta go back in. My bad. Accident. Sorry. Bam, 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 bam. Come on. Paid close attention to Mr. Kurita, especially on that night. Spy camera. Sorry, I just got to get back through all this. But dude, where was this camera you're talking about hidden? In the bear. And then the person who gave this bear to Mr. Kurita was you. Crazy, right? Mr. Unguard, don't you know where this bear is from? Zibbity zoobity but. You can go straight to the correct choice on the third psych lock? What? I don't... How? Here's the proof that it was you who put the camera inside the bear. Get past all this again. You're my lawyer, right, dude? So if you are, then why are you looking into stuff like that? Because if I don't know the truth, I can't help you. Sounds more like stupid lawyer talk to me. Hey, let's stop talking about this, okay? No, not yet. I haven't asked why you set the camera up yet. And what your secret is. Of course it would be strictly confidential. So, what are you going to do now? I'm going to find out what I want to know, because I must. The reason you hid the camera in Mr. Kurita's room and filmed it in secret is... Yeah, this is what I presented last time, yeah. Adrian Andrews? There's a rumor going on about all that. Yeah. Publicity, okay. Good stuff. Look, get publicity without spending a penny on that kind of stuff. I mean, if people stop paying attention to us, then it'd be the end. Too bad that wasn't your intention. What are you talking about? I wish your reason for spying was something so innocent, but it wasn't. You didn't spy on Mr. Kurita because of Miss Andrews. And there's only one other reason I can think of for you to do such a thing. The real reason you set that camera up in Mr. Kurita's room was... So this is where we left off before. So the real reason he set the camera up in the room was to film the murder. But why? Did it work? What is this card? Maybe he doesn't know about this card. This is a certain man's calling card. That man's name is Shelly D. Killer, and I'm sure you know of him, don't you? Shelly D. Killer? That's ridiculous! Why would I know some shady scumbag like him? If you really don't know him, then why are you acting so jumpy all of a sudden? Huh? This is it. I'm finally starting to get to the truth. I can't afford to make any more mistakes now. Mr. Matt Unguard, I know why you know Mr. D. Killer. It's because, okay, you're a hero of justice. No, you're a star. Definitely not. You're his client. We're going in. Since you're the one who set up that camera, that means you knew exactly what was going to happen in that room. So how? How would you know something like that? It's because you're his client. That's why. You hired Shelly D. Killer to assassinate Mr. Juan Kurita. The real mastermind behind the whole murder is you, Matt Unguard. Here I was trying to be a good boy for you, dude. I thought if you didn't know, you'd be able to do your job without feeling bad. Well, that's what I thought anyway. Mr. Unguard, you really did hire... Hold on a sec. I'm gonna consult myself, okay? Consult myself? Well, I guess it's probably about time anyway. About time for what? I think it's about time for you to meet him now. Mr. Lawyer, dude. How do you do, Mr. Lawyer? I am Matt Unguard. What in the hell? Well done, Mr. Wright. I bet it wasn't easy to gather as much information as you have. So you were Shelly D. Killer's client? You don't really think I would dirty my own hands in this, do you? What do you mean? And that woman, Adrian, was quite brave herself, trying to stick the crime on me. I didn't think she had it in her. But all I care about is that Juan is dead. Isn't that right, Mr. Lawyer? You're lying! What a terrible... It's way past your bedtime, little girl. Go on, let the grown-ups talk more. About more adult things. But why? Why did you hide the video camera and... A weakling soon believes the words of others, just like that pathetic Adrian. He knew about Miss Andrews' secret? But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. What? Oh, come on now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. They turn their clients into cash cows by holding the sinful deed over their heads. And a superstar like me, how much do you think I'm worth? Care to guess? And that's why? Yes, that's where the video comes in. It's got his face and the crime recorded on it, preserved for all time. With that, I can keep him at bay, even blackmail him if I want to. That's right, that video is my insurance. Isn't that what they call it, Mr. Wright? Why would you do something so wrong? Because I'm a grown-up and I can. Good enough of an answer for you, little girl? Why? Why would you kill Mr. Kurita? Because he was about to sling so much dung onto my beautiful public image. Scandals are a little annoying, aren't they? This is all because of that press conference, isn't it? If Mr. Kurita had been able to give it, then Mr. Unguard's secret would have... well, that's what we call taking advantage of the situation, you know? I had no interest in doing it really, but bit by bit it crept up on me. And then the situation presented itself perfectly. How beautiful, I thought. And that's how Mr. Kurita ended up dead. Let me tell you something. I'm not like Adrian. I don't depend on anyone. People are simply things to be used. Used and thrown away. Put on a sweet, innocent face and people will swallow anything you feed them. Adrian fell for it, the assassin too. Oh, and how can I forget? Even you fell for it, Mr. Lawyer. Everyone all working their butts off for me, Matt Ungard. Aw, did that leave you speechless? What a shame. What's wrong, Mr. Lawyer? You've grown awfully quiet. How could I have been so deceived by you all this time? When we first met, I asked if you had killed Juan Kurita, and you answered very clearly that you hadn't killed anyone. Hey now, I never told you any lies. The person who did the killing was that D-killer guy, right? All I'm guilty of is taking a cat nap in my room. You killed Mr. Kurita! I dare you to say that in court tomorrow. Oh, but too bad you can't. You're my lawyer after all, aren't you? You could always drop my case and refuse to represent me. How does that sound? Oh, but you can't, can you? That would be the one thing you absolutely cannot do. Maya, you wouldn't want to test the D-killer. He's a man of his word, or so I hear. You could end up getting a certain friend of yours rubbed out if you lose. You scoundrel! So if I were you, Mr. Wright, Esquire, I think I would give it my all tomorrow. Remember, everyone likes a happy win-win resolution. I'll get you for this. That's such a cliche phrase. Juan said something just like that, if my memory serves. Of course, well, we all know how well things turned out for him, don't we? Good night, Mr. Lawyer. What am I supposed to do? And now you finally found it. The starting line of this case. Edgeworth, I don't care for the horrid atmosphere here. Let's return to the precinct. March 22nd, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Well, Wright, what are you going to do? If you plan on changing your defense... No! We can't do that. That's right. He's holding Maya hostage. What should I do? That's not something I can answer for you. Mr. Edgeworth. Right, only you can decide where to go from here. 1 year ago at that time, I didn't truly understand what a prosecutor was. And that is why I had to leave the prosecutor's office. I felt that I couldn't stand up in a court of law until I really knew what a prosecutor was. And now, Wright, it's your turn. My turn? What is this thing called a lawyer? What can you do as one? You must find the answer and you must find it on your own. I'm a lawyer, but to fight for someone who is clearly a killer, Matt Ungard, that man is really... Ugh! It doesn't matter who. Every person deserves a proper defense and a fair trial. Isn't that the basis of our judicial system? Proper defense? But what exactly is that? Is that where a lawyer forcibly and blindly gets an acquittal through shouting and trickery? Ironic that you, of all people, should say such a thing. Isn't that exactly how you fought for all your clients up until now? Well, that may be true, but that's because I believed my clients to be innocent from the bottom of my heart. But if I were to get Ungard an acquittal, that isn't a proper defense at all. I became a lawyer because I thought I could save people who were suffering and in pain. But when I look at this mess we're in, I can't even protect the person closest to me. Even if I win this case, I still lose in the end. I just don't know what to do. Right. Would you get a hold of yourself? You have it all wrong. Huh? We aren't some sort of heroes. We're only human, you and I. You want to save someone? That's something easier said than done, wouldn't you say? You are a defense lawyer. You can't run away from that. You can only fight. That's all you can do. People like you and Franziska von Karma are always using all you have to pin me down. You fight to the very end, even when you know the truth is not with you. But I'm not like you. I can't fight for a false verdict, for a man I clearly know to be guilty. Franziska, she fights for herself. The only thing she fights for is her perfect win record, that's all. And isn't that the same as you? Isn't that why you ran away a year ago? Because your precious win record was destroyed? You are so petty. See, now I understand why you despise me so. However, you are mistaken. Thanks to you, when you sealed off my path to a perfect win record, I began to realize the error of my ways. I realized that things such as a perfect record were meaningless. Huh? I don't believe you. Are you saying that's why you left the prosecutor's office? But then why? Why are you here now? The answer to that is something you will find out on your own. I have faith you will see it before the verdict is read tomorrow. But if you can't, then you will be powerless to change the ending of this story. Nick, the transceiver!
I'm sorry for what happened earlier. Well then, Mr. Attorney, do you wager you can obtain an acquittal tomorrow? My, what is the matter, Mr. Attorney? I don't sense your usual anger this time.
Tell me, please, why are you holding Maya hostage for Mr. Ungard's sake? Why are you doing this for that cold-blooded killer? Right.
Please don't misunderstand things. He is my client.
Don't toy with me on this! A man who hires an assassin is just as much of a killer himself.
I believe you were asking me for a reason as to why I am doing what I am.
Yeah.
This is what I like to call my aftercare.
What in the heck is aftercare?
My name carries a certain amount of honor and dignity, Mr. Attorney. I take great care to ensure that no suspicion falls upon my clients or my handiwork. That is what is called client relation, and it is part of an assassin's duty.
An assassin's duty?
We were unlucky this time when my client was arrested as a suspect. As a result, I did what I had to do and enlisted your expert help, Mr. Attorney, and to ensure that you would do everything in your power to the very end.
What is your name?
I believe I told you once before. However,
you did, but...
My name is D. Killer. Shelly D. Killer.
You're Shelly D. Killer?
Please keep in mind you do not have much space to maneuver with me. As a D. Killer, I always finish what I set out to do. If you fail to keep up your end of the bargain,
Maya!
It would be my duty as an assassin to see it. She receives a nice, long nap.
No!
Now then, if you'll excuse me, if someone were to trace this signal back to me, it would be quite troublesome.
The cat. The cat just meowed. Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! I don't know what to say. Edgeworth, did you hear that? At the very end of the transmission. Huh? Oh, that? It sounded like a cat. A cat? It can't be that cat. Can it? What is it? I think I know where Shelly D. Killer is holding Maya hostage. Edgeworth, have all the police units head for Unguard's mansion immediately. All right, you hurry over there as well then. Don't lose hope yet, Pearls. The fight has only just begun. Yeah. How do I get there? The hotel lobby. That's right. It's right down the street from the lobby. Wait, what? Criminal Affairs, Viola Hall, living room. What? How do I get there from here? What? Hotel lobby. Oh, living room. That's right. Maya! Please answer us! Mystic Maya! We have this area completely surrounded. There is no way for him to escape, assuming he's still in the area. I can't believe it. That butler, all this time, he was D-Killer? He and Unguard were working together all this time. I'm sure they had worked out a contingency plan ahead of it. There's a bear sitting right by this little doorway now. Oh, it's a figurine of a bear, but there's a lot of cuts in it for some reason. Same as the bear that we found in the room earlier, right? A bear? Isn't that more of a thing for Mr. Kurita? Wait, no. That's the bear that Maya found on the couch earlier. Why would something like this be here? Right. Look down. There's a little pet door installed here. I'm sure it's for that shoe. Do you think that this came through that little door? This door, it's locked. Well, I'm pretty used to breaking down doors by now. Let's go, Edgeworth. There's no one here. From the looks of this room, I would say that this is Unguard's private lounge. Look at this, right? An antenna for sending and receiving radio signals, and a VCR? Check inside the deck. If there's a tape, it would be an important piece of evidence. If we're lucky, it'll have the moment the crime was committed recorded on it. I'm sorry, but the tape deck is empty. There's no tape to be found. No, but there's no mistake that someone used this to record something. It looks like someone took the tape we're looking for and escaped with it. I can't read all the labels, but this is a very large collection of videotapes. It looks like Unguard taped all of his own shows. Wine cellar. He searched all over, but looks like he got away. I'm sorry, Phoenix. It looks like he slipped out of our grasp this time. And now we've lost our only lead. Don't give up yet. That little girl is looking to you to be her pillar. Right. We're close, I can tell. We've already set up checkpoints at every route leading out of the district. Leave the rest to us. Maya. This looks like a picture of Miss Impax. With love, Celeste. Miss Impax? You mean, yes, Mr. Kurita's former manager. How would a picture of Miss Impax be here in Mr. Unguard's mansion? And why does it say with love? This might be a clue. What's wrong? Pearls? Let me see that picture frame! What's so special about the frame? On the back, there's something written on the back of the frame! Maya? It's Mystic Maya! She left us a message! What? I thought you'd come. I knew you would. Now listen up, you better get Unguard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag and not guilty, I'll never forgive you. Ever. I'm fine, so you don't need to worry. There's so much I want to write, but I don't think I have a lot of time left. Pearly, you're there too, right? make sure you help Nick, okay? Someone's got to watch out for this helpless lunk. That's it for now, Nick. I guess I'll talk to you guys later. No! Maya! Right. What's wrong? Why the blank stare? Oh, nothing. We've searched the house, and this is the last room. It looks like he eluded us. As far as clues go, Edgeworth, I think this is about all I'm going to get. But I'm still short on one last thing. And what is that? She's got one more psych lock for me to break through. The final piece of evidence I need, Miss Andrews' psych lock. If I could just find out what secret she's holding, then I could stand a chance in court tomorrow. To blow this case wide open and expose the truth. I think I know what you're thinking. I'll contact the detention center. Thanks, Edgeworth. Well, let's go, Pearls. It's time to open up the last lock. Good evening, Mr. Wright. What's wrong? You look ill. Miss Andrews, I have come to remove your psych lock. Psych lock? I want to know, and you will tell me, your secret. Well, fine. Go ahead. Try and break me if you can. Oh, I'm gonna break you, lady. I'm gonna break you. So bad. Why frame him? Can you please tell me why you framed Mr. Ungard for the murder? I've already told you countless times it's because I thought Matt was the killer. That's not it. I know you have a personal reason to dislike Mr. Ungard. Miss Andrews. You may think I didn't hear it, but I know you said something earlier. You said revenge. Oh, snap! Yo, Chad Bobo getting that gift sub. Tang Ang with another one, dude. Dude, you went up like 12 gift subs in like 2 days, man. Tang, absolutely incredible. Thank you is all I can really say, man. But thank you so much again. 82 times thank you, dude. I really, really appreciate everything you've done, Tang. So much, man. We gotta go back in, though. We gotta dive back in, dude. You said revenge. So you're saying I was taking my revenge out on Matt, and that's why? What an absurd idea. I don't have anything I want to take revenge for. Miss Andrews, a woman who lives by being dependent on another person. There's something or someone in her past that would make her take revenge. And it's Miss Celeste Impacts. Celeste? There's only one catalyst that could cause such a strong feelings, and even revenge, and that is Miss Impact's suicide. What are you trying to say? Celeste was Juan's manager. On top of that, the one who hit her suicide note was also Juan. What does all this have to do with Matt? You're right. You haven't mentioned him yet. But for you to hate Mr. Ungard, it would mean that he must have had some relation to Miss Impacts and her suicide. Can you explain to me this relation between Celeste and Matt? This latest piece of evidence I can. This is a photo of Miss Impacts, correct? She looks younger than when she passed away, though. With love, Celeste. This is Miss Impact's handwriting, is it not? Where did you find this? No, that's all right. It's a rhetorical question. Yeah, it is. I found this at Mr. Ungard's mansion. And after all this time, my last remaining secret has been revealed. Pardon the interruption. Oh my god, Tang, another one, Dork Muffin, welcome back for another month. You beautiful Mama Jamma. Tang, thank you for another one, dude. I really appreciate it. And Dork Muffin, welcome back to the pool party for another month, dude. Enjoy the emotes. Enjoy getting moist. With the whole gang, man. With the whole gang. All right. Why frame him? Why frame him? Celeste. She was supposed to get married to Juan. Yes, but I heard that it didn't work out. Because Mr. Kurita didn't want to get married to her anymore, right? Yes. Because of Matt. But because of Mr. Ungard? What do you mean? I think I can see where this is going. Celeste. She was Matt's manager a long time ago. She was the happiest woman in the world at that time. I was working part-time back then, and I often saw the two of them together. So that's why, with love, Celeste is written on the frame of that picture. They were a couple, weren't they? It wasn't anything as splendid as that. Celeste was being used, toyed with, until she was thrown away. That's so horrible. Matt's entire image is built around how nice and wonderful of a man he is. A scandal would have destroyed that, which is why Celeste, in her kindness, moved over to Worldwide Studios, and that is where she met Juan. She seemed really happy with him, even happier than she was with Matt. Celeste and Juan were such a good match that they were even planning to get married. And then, suddenly called off. On the night Juan called their marriage off, Celeste, she killed herself. And that's why I framed Matt. It was revenge for Celeste and for myself. I'm sure even you can guess why Juan called off the wedding, right? Matt confessed to Juan about his relationship with Celeste. See, so that's what happened.
But then why did Mr. Kurita have to call off the wedding? I don't understand at all.
It was probably because of his worthless male pride. Juan and Matt were always fierce rivals. Matt waited for the wedding announcement and then unleashed the truth on Juan. He was aiming for when it would hurt Juan the most. Or miss impacts. That wasn't the end of it. That day, I'm almost certain that Celeste left behind a suicide note. And in that note, she left a detailed account of Matt's various misdeeds, and, so that she would never again be hurt by Matt, she chose to die. That's when Juan discovered her body. He hid her note.
But why would he do that?
It's simple. Juan realized that the note was a powerful weapon against Matt, and he would be especially damaging to his refreshing like a spring breeze image. In any case, with his pride hurt, Juan sought revenge. Revenge? There's that word again. Juan wanted to publicly disclose the contents of that suicide note, at a time that would cause Matt the most damage, of course. And that was at the press conference after the stage show. I know all about it because I heard about it from Juan. It was so I could find out about all this that I drew close to Juan to begin with. They're quite a pair of hideous monsters, aren't they? Even Celeste's death was something for them to use in their game. That night, when I found Juan's body, it was only natural that I thought the murderer was Matt. Those two were always spying on one another after all. As for me, I was frantically searching for Celeste's suicide note. I wanted to destroy it before it ever went public. I was going to burn it. I had even brought a lighter. But I couldn't find the suicide note. That's when revenge crossed my mind. Yes, I was going to bring them my own kind of cruel revenge. Celeste was killed by those two monsters. So when I stabbed Juan's body with that knife, I didn't feel a single shred of guilt. That's all I have to say. Well, Mr. Wright, even knowing all this, are you still going to help that man? I'm a lawyer. I see. What a foul. Thank you very much for your time talking. It was no big deal. I couldn't sleep anyway. I can't sleep either, not with Maya's situation, nor with what I know now. To be continued. This is the first time our client has actually been guilty. I don't know how to act, dude. I don't know how to act.